these are both Mustang GTs. This is the S650 generation, and then this is the new S650 generation of the Mustang, a 2023 versus a 2024. And as you can see, there is quite a difference between the two. And today I'm going to be comparing them and seeing what Ford has changed. I'm Aiden, and you're watching Gaudin X. Now, the first thing we need to talk about are the powertrains of these two vehicles. And before I mention that, I'm going to thank Ford for finally putting struts to hold up the hood without needing a hood prop like the last generation Mustang GT needed. It's a lot nicer. This hood is very heavy, and I don't like touching the hot hood and trying to pull up a prop bar while burning my hands. Anyways, the S650 Mustang, let's start with this before we get into that one. This is the Gen 3 Coyote, 450 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. At one point, it made 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, but in 2022, Ford decreased the power levels on this motor. This one is spec'd with a 10-speed automatic transmission, rear-wheel drive. It's a good platform for the Mustang, and it's been on this platform for around 2018, so 5 years ago. Before that, it was the 6R80 paired with the 5-liter V8, and it made a little bit less horsepower than this one does. Now, over here with the new Mustang, this is the Gen 4 Coyote. This one makes 486 horsepower. Normally, it'd make 480, but this one has the active exhaust, adding that extra 6 horsepower. One more horsepower than a Scat Pack. Good job, Ford. This one, it has the MT82 6-speed manual equipped with it. It is a $1,200 option on this to get the 10R80 10-speed automatic transmission. Also rear-wheel drive, but 486 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque is very healthy, and it's definitely an upgrade over the last generation, though we are down on torque compared to the original Gen 3 Coyote numbers. Now, when it comes to the exterior of these cars, Ford has done quite a bit to change up the S650 compared to the S650. On the S650, you had the teardrop headlights, of course, a lot of aggressive bodywork up front, the fangs in the grille, a splitter that sticks out quite a bit. You had these 235 tires all the way around with these 18-inch rims on these ones. But over here on the new S651, sharper headlights, larger fangs in the grille for the GT platform. The splitter doesn't stick out nearly as far, but the grille is definitely a lot bigger, and the heat extractors on the S650 on the hood are a lot larger than the ones on the S650. Now, this one has 255 tires all the way around with these 19-inch rims that you get with the Pony Night package on this car. And overall, I think this one looks quite a bit more aggressive than this one does, but I like both the looks of them. Tell me what you think in the comments. Now, in the back of the two Mustangs, they are pretty good looking and pretty aggressive looking between the two back here. These headlight design has been around since 2018. In 2015 to 2018, they were a little more, I'd say, boring, but this taillight design has been around for a bit. Both have quad tail exhaust pipes, both have a decent amount of trunk space, and both have the trunk lid spoiler on them. And of course, the taillights on the S650 Mustang are completely redesigned. They're more angular. Instead of having that little piece that angles up, it does it about halfway down. It looks a lot more simpler for the taillight design, but the rear valence on the S650 I think looks a tad bit more aggressive than on the S650. Still, both are great looking cars. Now, inside the new S650 Mustang, and of course it is a lot more technologically advanced in this car rather than in the S650. As standard, even on the base ones, you get two large displays, a digital gauge cluster, and this large system running Sync 4. Finally, the Mustang was the last car in Ford's lineup to receive this upgrade, and they've integrated it very, very well. New steering wheel, new center control stack area, new buttons and everything like that. The dash is completely redesigned. The seats are the same, and the back seats are the same, and the door panel is the same. But I'm really loving these new screens that you have. You can even configure the gauge cluster to have the same design as an 87 to a 93 Mustang Fox body. It's so good looking, and it's a lot more configurable than the last one is. The system in the center is also really good. Sync 4 has always been really responsive. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and you have a whole new drive mode selector setup. Drive modes are selected using the buttons on the steering wheel. And then My Mode has been changed to be a lot more in-depth now. Instead of My Mode being just for a drive mode, now it is for so much more. You can have up to 6 different driver profiles for your custom mode in this car. You could do different track apps. You still have line lock. You still have launch control on the manual vehicles. And you still have automatic rev matching for the manual transmissions. That is disableable if you want that to be a more raw experience. Same amount of exhaust modes. The My Color system has also been upgraded. This controls the entire ambient lighting in the car. just that way they've put it in one menu instead of having it in your gauge cluster here and then having to set it everywhere else. It's so much easier now. And as standard in this car, you have dual zone climate control and heated seats, which is something you did not get in the S550 Mustang. So they've made this one a lot more of a bang for your buck vehicle and trim level rather than the old base trim level in the S550 Mustang. It's looking great in here. Inside of the old S550 Mustang, it's not a bad place to be. The interior is still really, really comfortable. Smaller digital gauge cluster, which is an option on the S550 Mustangs. You're not always going to get it. You have to get the 401A package to get this gauge cluster, and it was only available in the premium level trims in the Mustang lineup. Smaller screen, running Sync 3. It's an okay operating system, wired Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto, so not so great. And if you got the base model of this, you got single zone climate control with no heated seats. And you don't even have heated seats in this one because of the Recaro bucket seats that you're getting. Though they are still comfortable and they hold you in place really nicely. Steering wheel is nice and good. Nice materials all over the place in this car. Nice down near the center control stack. This one was also available in the 6-speed manual and the 10-speed automatic, just like that one. And all your drive mode selectors are down in the center control stack rather than on the steering wheel. So you have to take your eyes off the road to change that if you really wanted to. But overall, the interior of this is still good. It's just really dated. This design was around in 2015 and it lasted 8 years since they finally replaced it for the 2024 model year. I'm so happy they finally updated the car. But overall, the interior of the S550 Mustang is still good. The S650 Mustang, it's just a whole nother level of better. And those are the major changes in between the S650 and the S550 Mustang. I have done a driving review of this car right here if you want to go see that review of this car solely without this one in the video. There is a video for that you guys can go watch to see how I compared the driving of this vehicle versus this one. This basically the same, but still you should go watch it just to make sure. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video.